No, they call me the Doctor.
Why don't you just call me Doctor?
I am the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor. You may be a doctor, but I'm the Doctor.
I'm called the Doctor.
I am
The Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
I am the Doctor!
He is a doctor.
Doctor? Of what? I'm sure the man has no academic standing whatsoever.
Hiya, pants.
Hola.
Ooh, today we start a fun one.
Was it?
No.
All right. Yeah.
This was one of the more difficult ones to get through, primarily because I was confused. There was
same. Yeah.
there were a lot of things that came about
Within like 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was really hard to keep track. I have a lot of questions.
Oh, good.
So.
I can make up some answers. Today we are watching the two-parter Edge of Destruction, which premiered, the first part premiered on February 8th, 1964. And it was...
Huzzah! I was waiting to see if you had a fun fact.
Oh, I don't for this one.
Oh, no.
I do for the next one.
Okay.
Nothing fun happened for this one.
That's
but the first part was directed by Richard Martin, and the second part was directed by Frank Cox, and they were both written by David Whitaker. Tina, what did you think of this story altogether?
We're including both.
Yeah, just
the serial
what you
in its
think.
entirety. Cool.
Yeah, the box.
Yeah, like I said, I have a lot of questions. It kind of felt all over the place. Like they were really trying to make something out of nothing.
Fair. Yep.
What did you think?
About the same. I didn't really remember this episode from watching before.
You probably blacked it out.
I probably did. It's kind of a, so it's definitely like a bottle episode or story, and I think it's kind of too early in the show's run to have a bottle episode like this, and it really, because it's all in one location, right? It all takes place
in
inside
two
the
rooms
TARDIS.
inside the TARDIS.
Right. I think the only thing this serial really gave us was a more like layout of the TARDIS. Like we got to see more than the control room.
Sure,
which
that's fair.
We haven't seen before.
Right.
But
It's always
even those were just like, you know, they changed the set dressing for the TARDIS room.
correct.
And yeah, but it was really confusing, and I actually watched the second part a few times just because I was very convinced that I missed something and that I was just writing notes and I missed a crucial part of the story where it would explain everything. It doesn't.
I absolutely adore that you did that, because I walked away from the entire experience going, okay, that was something, I guess.
But I also figured that you would do that. So I thought I would have to be the one to explain things.
Oh, but
which
there is nothing to
I still can't.
Yeah, it was rough pants.
It
But
was rough
this
pants.
one felt all over the place in a very chaotic form. Like once we were once we were past the first episode, the rule book's out, anything's gonna happen. For some reason they ask questions and like their answers, I can't even explain it. It was so bad that it had to be intentional.
I really think that this was just something. It was probably a story that started as one thing, and then due to like either budgetary constraints or scheduling, they just had to cram a shorter story into the season, and they only had their core cast. Like our people are the only people in this episode. There's no extras at all, and it just felt like it was conceived like while some people were like tripping balls, and they were like, let's go to the beginning of the universe over and over and over again.
Yeah, like a lot of that just didn't make any freaking sense at all. And then I love how when our characters realize what's going on, because they get it, right? They have this profound moment where they're just so entitled, I guess is what I'm getting off of their faces. They're like, well, duh, this is why it's like this. But the audience, you and I,
Yeah.
literally are asking, like, wait, no, really, what is going on right now?
And okay, so let's
We'll
just
start.
get into it. Okay.
Get in there.
So again, the first part started on February 8th, 1964, and the episode opens right where the last one left off, with the TARDIS seemingly crashing. Everybody is just kind of jostled around.
Just a loud
again.
explosion again.
And Barbara's the first to wake up, and it through like a quick series of confused looks and some dialogue that I didn't write down, we are given the conclusion that everybody's memory is like messed up.
Yes,
some
some
of
way or
them
form.
kind of remember stuff, and then others
And then suddenly forget.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was very odd. Susan's
It was strange. I guess what got me is it was strange what details they did remember
Yes.
versus what they did not remember, and how that was not consistent.
Right. Like Barbara being the first to wake up, she goes to like check on Ian, and she calls him Mr. Chesterton instead
Yeah, very
of
formal.
Ian.
I put a note where as they're waking up, they're being very formal with one another, like
Right.
using last
like
names.
it's also like I thought for a minute that they didn't know they were on a ship, just the way they were acting, and then it shows that they're aware of their surroundings, but just not who each other are fully. Don't know. Susan also wakes up. Her neck is hurt, and she doesn't remember anybody but the doctor for now. And he is laying on the ground, and he has a split in his head, apparently. And yeah, I wrote down that Ian is talking to Barbara like they're back in school.
Yeah. And they know who Susan is.
Right.
But Susan has no idea who they are.
And the doctor's like muttering to himself, and he's saying, I can't take you back, Susan. Like he keeps saying, I can't take you back.
And then we're brought back to like the main part of the TARDIS, the control center. We're seeing that the doors are opening and closing on their own. Mm-hmm. And that the image on there, what was it called?
Just a little TV.
I know, but they call it something.
That was back in like the first episode. I don't remember what they call it.
Okay. Anyways, yep. And that photo keeps changing. And are we?
Well, they established that it is a photo on the screen and not like a live picture,
Correct,
like they
sorry.
normally have when they
Yes.
land somewhere.
Because somebody mentioned going outside, and they were like, "No, you can't do that. We don't know what it actually looks like. It's a picture."
And the doors to the TARDIS open whenever nobody's near them, and they close whenever they're approached. For now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that does change later on for whatever reason. But when Ian tries to go near it, they close. When he leaves them, they open again. Repeat. So Susan she goes to try the controls on the control panel, and I learned later that she was shocked. At the time, I thought she just had a very wild faint.
Okay, yeah, because she did like some crazy thing off the controls.
Right, but there
And
was no
so-
like noise or anything
I
saying
also
that
don't
she was
remember
shocked.
anything. Yeah.
She just went up to it. Her back was to the camera, so we couldn't even really tell what she was touching. She touched it and then falls down.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they ever really said that until it was time for someone else to maybe touch it, and then Susan would just get all hysterical.
Right. So the doctor now has like a future bandage around his head.
Yeah.
That
Turns white
as it
when
heals.
it's completely healed.
Sure.
So we'll see transitions of the bandage through the episode.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
I didn't. Because I was
didn't-
trying to get the story and not the color of his black and white bandage.
I didn't notice at first, but then when it was kind of towards the end of it, he only had like 2 stripes versus the whole thing. And I was like, oh, that's funny. They've been changing it probably, but I didn't actually go back and watch.
That was likely just like a wardrobe problem that they didn't catch. I don't think they were that smart.
Well, it
But
made me
works.
think they were smart.
Sure.
So
Sure.
good job.
Yeah. The doctor says that he was hit on the back of his neck and that it still hurts, but he's getting better because of his magic bandage. So Ian takes Susan to lie down in what I assume is her room or a medical room. I'm not sure.
Never established.
The chair / bed that she lays on, I don't think would be suitable for like overnight sleeping. It looks like a dentist chair almost. And anyway, he leaves her in there to go get some water. And when he comes back, she is up and like really wild-eyed.
Yeah.
She looks insane and
with a weapon
and feral. And she is clutching scissors like she's about to stab him. And I still don't understand why that's happened. Why? Because she goes kind of in and out of this state
of confusion.
Yeah,
because
where
this
she's
is
trying
also
to
the part,
stab everybody.
Yeah, and this is the part where they're going back and forth, talking. Maybe it was a little bit further, but either way, Barbara and Susan, or Susan and Ian, have like a small argument because Barbara or Ian asked, "Is there something wrong with you? Like, do you not?" I don't remember how they phrased it.
Right.
But then Susan like completely turned around and was like, "Why are you asking me these things?" Like,
yeah,
she gets very defensive. And so I was thinking, okay, maybe Susan is the problem. But then it's, I don't know. It just points at people and then it's not them. And so you're like, okay,
right,
that theory didn't work. What are we doing?
Right. So Susan, instead of stabbing Ian, she stabs the bed over and over again,
like repeatedly.
Yeah,
that was unnecessary.
It was
Susan.
Barbara then kind of voices her worries that there's maybe something intelligent that got into the ship, which kind of pisses the doctor off for whatever reason.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the idea that I guess the ship's been outsmarted by something else. Susan, like she comes out of the room as Barbara and Ian and the doctor are talking. She's kind of like sneaking in the background. And she's now dressed completely in black.
Yes.
I don't know why, but she's just kind of
I think that's her like sleeping clothes, because everybody kind of transitions a little bit.
No.
And Barbara at one point in time is wearing black. I honestly thought that maybe it had something to do with what was going on.
I did too. I thought it was like a dark Susan thing.
I was trying to follow it, and I was like, okay, cool. They're using, light and dark.
Right.
No,
not at all. But she sneaks out, takes the scissors back, and goes back into her room, all without anybody seeing. And then when
sneaky Susan,
exactly, not as sneaky as she was last time, which is very disappointing. So Barbara goes to check on her again. Barbara asked if Susan remembers who Barbara is. She asked her for the scissors back because now she knows. I don't remember if it showed her with the scissors again.
Yeah, at this
did?
point, I think that she's holding them in one of her hands, because I know she kind of sort of went after Barbara a little bit.
Okay.
And then she was able to get the knife from her, or the scissors from her.
Got it.
But I think it's because Susan had another attack.
Yeah, she pulls the scissors on Barbara and is like accusing them of lying to her about something.
Yeah, well, at this point, like, the doctor and Susan have teamed up because they kind of remember each other, and then Ian and Barbara are not crazy. Right. I guess is what I'm getting at. Because even the doctor accuses them at one point in time of them touching some of the controls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they all kind of turn on each other back and forth. Like, at one point, there's, like, no teams. And then it's teacher team and doctor team. And then Susan switches teams. And it's a thing. And it all happens in, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah. And sometimes they wear black to mean that they're evil. And then sometimes they just wear black because it's a color.
Sure.
Makes no sense.
It doesn't.
There were so many things that I wanted to try and follow to see what they were getting at, which is kind of what you were saying, having to watch it a few times.
Yeah.
Very discouraging.
Indeed. So Susan suggests whatever got into the ship could be hiding in one of them.
Oh, yeah.
This is, I liked this idea.
I
thought this is where it was going. It wasn't.
No.
And they pretty much abandoned that really quick. But it was fun for
cool.
like the 2 minutes that it was in play.
But also, you have to think, like, would they have even thought about something like that? Or would that have been, that's not really what I'm trying to say. Would that have been okay for TV? Exploring that avenue.
Like being possessed?
Uh-huh.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's probably too scary, right?
Yeah, because like Exorcist came out like over a decade later, and that was still like super controversial.
Uh-huh.
So
But that
if Susan was like
so
possessed by a
cool.
demon and like crab walked backwards, fucking intense.
She could do it.
She could.
She could.
She could. She's
when
very
was it that
sneaky.
she made? Yeah.
If we just saw her like in the background out of focus, just like crab walking backwards, grabbing the knife and going back.
If this were a video, we'd do like a montage of what, I know you just said the movie, but what's her name? The Exorcist. Is her name Reagan? Poor thing. Okay, Reagan doing a crab walk with Susan's like black and white head.
Just like shoddily photoshopped onto it. Winking.
Winking.
It has to be winking.
Yeah.
Yes. Fucking
Oh,
Susan.
Suze.
We hate her. So,
But yeah, that would have been a really cool idea and cool concept to go with. It was something really exciting, and I feel the same. I was pretty disappointed to see that they didn't follow that rabbit.
yeah, no.
Oh well.
So Ian comes in. He tells the doctor that he's decided that the problem has to be outside the ship, and that he's gonna go turn on the ship's scanners. Susan flips out again, runs to find the doctor, because she's afraid of him getting shocked by turning on the scanners on the control panel.
Correct. Somehow that fear of her grandfather getting hurt snapped her out of whatever was going on with her, because from that moment on,
she's pretty normal.
she was normal, annoying Susan.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, she's still been annoying, but normal annoying. This is where the scanners on the TV show a photo of England and then a photo of a swamp that the doctor states was from 4 to 5 journeys ago. I think Susan says that, sorry. That the swamp was from 4 to 5 journeys ago, where they nearly lost the TARDIS. So that's a journey we did not see, I assume, before Ian and Barbara came along.
I literally thought it was the episode prior to.
No.
That wasn't the swamp?
Mm-mm. Where they lost the TARDIS? Or nearly lost the TARDIS?
Yeah, when the Dalek episode.
Well, no.
Because that's when they had the lake.
They said it was 4 to 5 journeys ago. This literally happened right after the end of the Daleks.
Well, I just thought it was... I understand what you're saying. You're being very literal. I thought they were just like making it happen because they don't care about rules.
Oh, no. I don't think so.
Well,
I think they just have like 4 locations they can work with, and they all kind of look the same.
okay.
So, yeah, they don't have a budget just yet. And then it shows a planet that the doctor says is the planet Quinis from the 4th universe.
Yes. But it actually... I have a question right here that says, is that the Death Star? Please go look at the picture again.
No, I know. But it looks like a moon.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the Death Star does look like a moon.
Uh-huh.
But it's no moon. It's the Death Star.
Get out.
So, at that point, the doors open and close again. Why not? They're like, something needs to happen now. It did. The
end is where it gets weird. Continue.
All right. The doctor says that the TARDIS has a memory bank that records their adventures, and for whatever reason, it's showing them these adventures, like England, where they're from, and then the swamp from wherever.
Uh-huh.
So the doctor accuses Ian and Barbara of sabotaging the ship. He has a really like incoherent stumble of his words.
Yes.
Like the subtitles didn't even like try.
No, I didn't even bother to write anything. I was in the process, and then it just...
No, like that was probably his worst one yet. Like where Hartnell just flubs and tries to recover. He does recover, but yeah. Anyway, and he says that they're trying to blackmail him by sabotaging the ship to take them back to England. Barbara like lets him have it.
Yeah.
She goes off queen.
Yeah, it was, I mean, like, the doctor was being pretty ugly. And
Indeed.
then Barbara literally, like, laid into him.
Yep.
She did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
She knows how to get shit done.
Indeed.
Women supporting women. Anyways, towards the end, I could not tell if the characters were experiencing side effects from whatever was going on, or if this was just incredibly dramatic acting. Yes, could be a little bit of both.
I'm going to lean more towards dramatic acting.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
Like, it's truly ridiculous.
It is. Just going back to...
Then, oh, God, sorry. I turned the page. I remember what I was going to say. Mm-hmm. Because then immediately preceding, the doctor brings her tea, and they're okay. Like, it's all right.
Because he roofied them.
But it's all right.
Doctor loves his drugs.
I hate you.
I mean, he drugged them. There was drugs in the tea.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it chilled him out. It did. It says that. That was his intention.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I was just
there was like
too upset about it being ridiculous.
I think it was... I mean, he didn't give it a name, but it was some sort of like relaxing sleeper drug. Sleepy drug.
Where does he get off thinking he can shut Barbara up by giving her a sleepy drug?
He's an old white male in the 60s. He can do whatever he wants.
Definitely sounds like a little misogynistic. Okay, continue.
So, yeah, when Barbara's letting him have it, she pretty much says that everything that's happened so far is his fault. And that he should be thanking them and showing them respect that they've gotten him out of all the shit that he's put them in. Like with the fluid link and Ian making fire.
Yep.
And so they've saved the day, and he's just kind of made it shitty. What?
My note.
Bandage has been changing.
That's what I noticed. Great. Just so that you would know.
Well, at this point, I noticed the clock melting. So that also, I mean, I guess sort of in hindsight makes some sort of sense. It shows Barbara sees a clock that has never been there before, but is now in the TARDIS, melting, and one of their watches, I think Ian's, is also melting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's when the doctor brings them drinks to he says to calm everyone down.
Yeah, I totally missed that.
And Ian he's confused by the doctor's sudden change in demeanor, being nice now when he was being a jackass 2 seconds earlier. And then Barbara goes to bed. Ian tries to convince the doctor at that point that he needs to talk to Barbara, try to apologize. Yep. And then everybody goes to sleep. Doctor's kind of looking over the control panels, and he's grabbed by his collar by some angry white fists.
So let me tell you really quickly that Suze asked Barb to forgive the doctor.
Suze and Barb.
Yeah, I'm just Suze and Barb. We're friends. That's why we call each other Barb. Okay, anyways. Susan and Barbara are talking, and Susan asks her to forgive the doctor. And then the doctor goes and checks on everybody because they were asleep. I didn't hear the tea part. And when I saw him checking on everybody, I was like, he's the one that has the thing inside him. Still following the storyline.
Right.
I was like, ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
No,
not at all.
No, somebody grabbed him. But then I did write cliffhanger.
I think it's a given at this point.
I like it, though.
All of them end on
it's fun.
a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Not all as literal as when Ian was hanging off a cliff in the Daleks.
That was very good. That was very good. It's fun because, especially in a world that we live in now where we have Netflix and HBO and Hulu, you can pay to not have any kind of advertisements. You can binge watch TV shows because they all come out at the same time. Whereas before, if you were a true classic Who fan, you had to wait a whole week. And this truly was a cliffhanger. Like, you were waiting for, let's go, it's 7 p.m. Let's be reasonable. You were waiting for 7 p.m. for the doctor to come on.
How long did you wait between episodes?
These two I watched back to back.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah,
Privileged.
a little.
Yeah. I paused and ate dinner to try and get the true 60s British feel. So
But it's crazy. We don't have to wait anymore.
yeah.
I enjoy that. I enjoy that. And this is probably one of the first times that we're seeing cliffhangers like this.
Probably.
I'm appreciating our origin, and you're being a
This is not
eyebrowy
our origin
ass. Our origin of the
We're
Doctor?
not British. Oh, all right. They meant our personal origin.
This isn't always about you, Pants.
Our.
No.
Both of us.
Our. It's still about you.
So the episode ends with the Doctor being grabbed. And we see the next episode title, which is Brink of Disaster.
I missed it and put destruction because I thought it was again. And then I changed it to disaster.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Apparently, this whole story is like known as Inside the Ship for whatever reason. I mean, I see why, but
Okay.
I don't know. I think that's just something that fans have dubbed it.
Okay.
Yeah. I tried that last night and just remembered now, so I thought I would throw it in.
Cute.
So, part 2. It aired on February 15th, 1964.
Do you have a fun fact, Pants?
I do.
Indeed.
Guess what it involves? She's shaking her head.
I don't know.
What has most all of the fun facts involved?
Oh, God. Okay. Wait.
No one died.
Oh, okay. I just remember we had...
All right, well, this is a bit that's going nowhere. The Beatles. Meet the Beatles album goes number 1 and stays number 1 for 11 weeks.
Wow. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. The only thing I remembered, it was tragic, and you and I have a dark sense of humor. So I thought you were being funny, and that's why I said, oh, God.
Oh.
Because I was really scared for what you were going to tell me.
Oh. I mean, no one died.
Okay, well,
The
that's
president's
good.
already dead.
Can't do it twice. That's really exciting.
Indeed.
Wow.
Well, you could do it twice because, you know, the QAnon people, they are waiting for JFK to come back.
Oh, God.
They waited on the grassy knoll for him. He was going to come back, be our president, and re-elect Trump into office.
Oh, 'cause that's how that works.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, that probably is how it works, considering that, you know, we're not going into politics, Pants.
I'm just saying. He could die twice is what I'm just rebutting what you said.
Okay, that's fine. But then you got me thinking about voting, and then I get angry.
Shouldn't think about voting.
Well,
It doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It does not exist. Voting does not exist.
It doesn't. Please vote. So, it turns out the white hands belong to none other than the only other white male on board.
Nothing
Ian.
exciting?
No, just Ian. He grabs the Doctor angrily and then he faints.
Immediately.
Yeah,
The Doctor's just like wowing people left and right.
he is. He did a hair flip and turned toward Ian in shock.
Yeah.
And Ian was just like, boner, faint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Doctor was like, "Did you like my tea, bitch?" I really hate that the Doctor drugged them and they like normalized that.
Yeah. Well. He would have probably just been
hate
like, "Did you like did tea, bitch?"
Line, please.
Not because of his illness, just because he can't remember lines. I just want to stipulate what I'm making fun of. Not an illness, but that he.
No.
Yeah.
But I can see where you might get confused. All right, so
Doctor again accuses Barbara of trying to take over the ship.
oh yeah,
Yeah, Susan appears, siding with the Doctor now.
yeah. Until the Doctor hits her with that. We are kicking. We are kicking Barbara and Ian off of the TARDIS. Like, they are voted off the island. They need to get out. I don't care where we are. Mm-hmm. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, exactly. He would be that person. Yeah, he says that Ian and Barbara are trying to poison Susan's mind, and that he wants to exile Barbara and Ian. He immediately commands Barbara and Ian to get off his ship.
Yep. And
at that point, an alarm goes off.
Correct.
The danger signal.
Ooh.
And it is the fault locator.
The controls are alive! I don't know if somebody says that at some point in time.
Yep. I think you're a little early. So now the doctor's okay. He tells them not to be afraid of him. But the ship is now going to disintegrate.
Yes.
And also, the drink was a sleeping drug. Just throwing that out there. He's trying to clear his conscience before they all die.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Also, Rufalin. Yeah. Oh, and at this point, Hartnell also slips on the word destruction. Just want to point it out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He quickly comes to the conclusion that they're actually all four to blame. Mm-hmm. No one individual.
I don't even know what that means.
I wrote down his little speech, just kind of the part that when I was trying to figure out what was going on.
Okay.
So he says that there's a strong force at work threatening the ship, so strong that every piece of equipment can be out of action at the same time. He says they haven't crash landed. There's no evil intelligence on the ship. And then Barbara. So I also want to point out that every time Barbara has like a speech, she turns away from everybody to give it. She turns towards the camera really dramatically. But if you think about everybody else in the room, they're like, what is she looking at?
Never had somebody walk away from you as they're telling their ideas?
Not just turn away and stand still. And yeah, anyway, so that happens. And she says, this is Barbara. She says, we have a measure of time as long as it lasts. That explains the clock faces. We had time taken away from us, and now it's being given back because it's running out.
Yes. That sounds about right.
Perfect sense.
What the hell does that all mean?
No, she just picked some words and put them together.
But I got excited there.
Awesome, yeah.
Yes, right?
Right.
It's very confusing and honestly quite frustrating.
Imagine how they feel. They can barely hear Barbara because she's talking at the other direction.
The alarm's going off. Barbara, why are you
just face us?
But they look at each other. They're like, who the hell is she talking to?
And the doctor does it too. He'll turn away and like grab his little overalls.
He does.
He's like, oh, doctor, stumble.
Okay. I don't know if maybe everybody fucks up their lines, and maybe that's why this episode, like...
You say everybody, it was William Hartnell.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe somebody else fucked up too at some point in time.
Maybe that...
Or this is how they all improv'd.
They never went to improv classes. Maybe that whole, like, stumble, the bad one he did in the first episode, was, like...
A little more explanation.
Yeah, maybe that's where he actually explained the plot. And he was like, I don't even get it. So, blah, blah, blah.
And Ian's like, I'm definitely not talking.
Yeah,
and
no.
Barbara's like, I'm a woman.
So I really don't have a voice here. That's why I look that way and talk.
Although, honestly, Barb's has been taking names and kicking ass. Or is it kicking ass and taking names? Yeah. I think you have to do that first.
Excuse me, what's your name? Ass kick. So yeah, Barbara gives her little knowledge dump, and there is an explosion.
Yes.
And the column at the center of the console starts to move up and down. So I assume that means the power is on. I wasn't aware the power was off.
Yep.
But they're making a big deal out of it now that it's on. They haven't been in the dark. The only thing dark is Susan's outfit.
Yes.
All
And
the lights are working. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They just suffered amnesia. I know this happened somewhere.
yeah, but that was a whole episode ago, and they've all recovered.
Well, they keep forgetting.
Okay.
I don't know.
And yeah, this is where I wrote down that Barbara keeps stepping away to make grand revelations. So it's now established that they have 10 minutes to survive, maybe less. The doctor deduces that the TARDIS has been trying to tell them, and then there's another explosion and a warning. So I don't know what it's been trying to tell them at this point.
I'm assuming that they're not okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
that they have 10 minutes.
Yes.
Or maybe
or
that Barbara
less.
needs to speak up.
Where are the scissors? I can't keep an eye on Susan while everything's blowing up.
The doctor tells Barbara and Susan to go stand near the door and wait for it to open and see what's outside.
Yeah.
This was a lie. He stays back with Ian and tells Ian, JK, we have 5 minutes to live.
Or less.
Or less. And the doors do open. There is a blinding light.
And then an explosion of screams?
Sure.
From Barbara and Susan.
Right. Because there's nothing but space.
Correct.
According to Susan. Not sure why it's bright.
I don't know.
But it's space.
Yes.
Okay. So, turns out they're at the start of the solar system.
Yeah.
That's the revelation. Well, one of them, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know how they deduced that. But
well,
Barbara definitely just takes that theory and runs with it.
I think they... Okay, so let me get to the next part.
Yep.
So...
This is where Pants tries to explain the episode.
I'm gonna do my best.
Go.
So the doctor then sees on the control panel that he used the fast return switch when they left Skaro.
Okay.
Skaro's in the future.
Correct.
The fast return switch, I guess, is supposed to send them back to the last
place they went.
Right. A quick return. That's what fast return means. Yeah. So he used
synonyms.
Yeah, he used that to go back to Ian and Barbara's time, but the switch got stuck when he pressed it. The little spring went out. I don't know, and they went too far back.
Yes.
So where they're at now is at the start of the universe.
Yes.
At the Big Bang. They never say that, but that's what's implied. And I think every one of these explosions or whatever is them going back to the Big Bang.
Oh.
So they go back to it, move forward a little bit, and then the fast return brings them back. Another explosion.
Oh, the TARDIS
go
tries
forward.
to... Yep.
That's not explained at all. That's me filling in a lot of blanks.
That actually... Yeah, he was doing a lot of hand gestures that you guys can't see that I'm following.
Yeah.
But that made sense to me.
Yeah, it's on the hand gesture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Woo! Same hand gesture. All right,
Yeah.
Pants, keep going.
All right. We've been friends for far too long that we both went to that. So the doctor fixes it.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that funny little spring?
Yep. And they're good to go, I guess.
Such an advanced machine, and it's funny to see a coil.
Indeed. Yeah.
Continue.
So he's apologizing to Ian. Hartnell has another stutter in the apology. And then he talks to Barbara, and he tells her that they all owe her their lives. Bit of a stretch. She definitely helped.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's, Just kind of gaslighting her at this point.
Yeah. Like, you're so stupid. Thanks for helping us.
Yeah, exactly. The Doctor and Barbara have a... Nope, sorry. The Doctor and Ian have a good laugh and start the TARDIS up. Not sure what they're laughing about.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either.
They told a little joke, probably facing the wrong direction. We didn't hear it. The Doctor goes to Barbara in her room, telling her that they landed on a cool planet with good air. Cool being temperature, not like groovy.
Baby.
Right. So she should join them outside, he says. He tells her that she's valuable. And they kind of link arms and walk back to the control room. And outside in the right outside the control room, outside the TARDIS, the doors are open now. Susan finds a big footprint in the snow. She says that it's the footprint of a giant. And that's where the episode ends. So everybody's happy again. That's Twilight Zone.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so that's where the episode ends. Susan finds big footprints. And we get the title of the next episode with a caveat, entitled Roof of the World. Mm-hmm. But we are not going to be watching Roof of the World.
Correct.
This episode, this story that we just did, is the last time that we have an uninterrupted string of episodes, I guess. There's a lot of missing stories coming up from now on. Yeah. So the story serial entitled Marco Polo, which is I think a 6 or 7 episode serial, is actually what's next. That was completely erased by the BBC. And I believe there's some like telesnaps and some stills of it, maybe a soundtrack, but they have not animated the episode. It does not exist as of now. So we will be going to the next one next week called Keys of Marinus. And we may never know why there was a big footprint.
Yeah. Nope.
No.
It's funny because, I'll tell you next time. But I do want to leave you with a fun fact.
Please.
Did you know that the next episode aired on my birthday? Before I was born, though.
Thank you for clarifying that. No, because I hadn't looked at the date yet.
Yeah, April 11th.
Oh my god.
Yay. Yay me.
Love that for you.
Thanks.
So I have a couple just general facts about the serial itself. Producer Verity Lambert had to write a letter of apology after the children's department made it known that they felt it was an unwise decision to show Susan acting out violently with a pair of scissors.
Interesting.
And this is the only complete serial of Doctor Who to only feature the regular cast with no guest actors appearing.
Huh, yeah. See, I forget. Because we did establish last time that Susan's what? 17? Younger.
Yeah, so we looked it up afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
By we, I mean I.
Yep.
And
I
Susan
reminded him, though.
I had already looked it up by the time you reminded me.
Whatever.
Susan is, in fact, supposed to be 16.
Boom.
So, there's that.
Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, so they definitely wouldn't have talked about something being inside of somebody if they couldn't even show her getting mildly crunk with scissors.
True.
Honestly,
I mean, they did
that'd
show
probably
it. They just
be
got
a good
pushed
day
back.
in kindergarten.
Sure.
Kids
But
are
with, like,
brutal.
rounded scissors.
Yeah. The ones with the cool colors.
Sure. That don't cut anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was always very frustrating.
It was. It just bent the paper.
Yeah. Now I have
So-
to start over. Anyways.
Did you like this episode? Serial.
It could have been better. It was very confusing. I appreciate you for watching it multiple times.
Sure.
I walked away thinking that this had just been a fail for them.
So if it was a yes or no, you'd say no.
I would say no. Yeah.
Fair enough. I did like the first episode more because I was still filled with the hope that it was going somewhere.
Okay. That's fair.
And the second episode, I feel like it almost maybe should have had a third. And maybe fleshed out that whole 5 to 10 minutes of the Doctor kind of explaining or trying to explain stuff.
Yeah.
But
Would you really have wanted this to be longer?
if I knew that it was worth it.
But it never is. Especially with this.
I mean, I think like the Dalek serial could have been like 1 or 2 episodes shorter.
Yeah.
I think this could have maybe benefited from 1 more episode, kind of splitting the second episode in 2
Okay.
and just fleshing out
Yeah.
the finale
story.
more. Because
Yes.
I feel like the whole button reveal, the Big Bang thing, all happened in a span of 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was a
And
lot of
then-
information to take in.
Yeah, and half of it was incoherent, and then there's a footprint. Well, not their fault, but
Yeah.
still.
Do you know what the episodes were about?
So yeah, the really brief plot summary for Marco Polo. The story is set in China in the year 1289, where the Doctor and everybody meet the Italian merchant explorer Marco Polo and Mongolian Emperor Kublai Khan. There's a much longer plot that I'm not going to read.
Okay.
But it exists.
Nice.
You can look it up on Wikipedia if you want to read about it.
Okay.
I think the whole, probably every plot point, if you wanted to go through and get the gist of the episode, is there, but I haven't done that. So anyway, yeah, Keys of Marinus is what we'll be doing next, and that is a 6-7-parter.
6-parter, I believe.
Cool. So Tina, if you had to, and you do,
We haven't
rank
played this
the
before.
3
Oh,
serials that we've watched thus far, how would they be ranked worst to best?
cool. May I have?
It's 3. You can't have too long.
Oh, it is 3. Okay, just checking. Okay, so I guess I have going 3 to 1, correct?
Yep.
Okay. 3rd being this one,
Okay.
this little cereal. 2nd would be the first cereal.
Earthly Child.
An Unearthly Child, yes. And the 3rd, and the first being the best, would be the Daleks.
C, as it were.
Even though, C, exactly. Even though I do believe it should have been less episodes. But me being such a fan of the Daleks, that was great.
Cool.
How about you, Pants?
Worst to best is what we're doing.
Yes.
Let's see. I will say at the bottom, even though there is 1 good episode in it, I'm going to say Unearthly Child.
Okay.
I do think the first episode is very good,
Yeah, that's why I put it at 2nd.
but it's not good enough to make up for the other 3
Ah,
of just trying to make fire and shit.
sure.
2nd, Edge of Destruction, which is what we just did.
Correct.
And first, Daleks.
Yes.
Could have been
It's
shorter.
interesting that you say that because even though the cavemen drove me crazy, I liked the first episode enough to go through that. I refused to watch The Edge of Destruction again.
Well, you see, Edge of Destruction didn't take up too much of my time, so that was good. And with Unearthly Child, I can watch the first episode and stop and be fine. Now, if it was the last episode of the serial that was good, I think that might move it on the list because I would need to watch the other ones to get to the good one.
I gotcha.
With Unearthly Child, I can get to the good one, stop,
Huh.
and be fine.
Yeah.
Because really, that story, the first story, is completely separated from the other 3 in the serial.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been 2
I
different
understand.
things. So yeah,
But
I mean,
it
I
can't.
think I know. I mean, but I think that episode, if we were doing an episode ranking, which we're not doing, but that episode alone would be definitely top
Yeah.
3, maybe first, but that's not good enough to lift the whole serial.
It is for me
Good.
because
I'm
I
glad you have
can
lower standards.
journal while the other ones are playing.
Wow.
Yep. No
Fair.
one said I had to keep my eyes on it.
I mean, it's implied when we're reviewing it
No.
that you need to watch the episodes.
No.
And we all know that
I do watch the episodes.
that you weren't taking notes the first time. So what were you doing?
I did take notes.
No, you took shit notes.
Oh. I was writing the parts that I thought were funny.
Yeah, that's how we tell a story.
You're the storyteller, Pants. I'm just here for the ride.
Okay.
Beep, beep.
All right. Well, thus concludes another week.
It does. But I'd like to say something before we go.
By all means. I hope it's good.
All you what the fuckers out there that are still with us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany. And Jim, maybe, if Jim is still listening.
Oh, yeah,
Thanks,
Jim.
I don't know if anybody else that is. I know our significant others aren't.
Nope. It's because this is so boring. But I love it.
Yeah. We're just doing this for us.
Exactly. If it wasn't this, then what?
Yeah. I couldn't get you to watch it unless there was homework. And this is the homework.
Yeah. It's annoying, though. Anyways.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening.
Indeed. We will see you next week.
Yes, we will.
Goodbye.
Hasta la pasta.